There's a sound that shatters the illusion of the happy family. It's the sound of a bloodline stripped down to rage, vengeance, and score settling. It ain't no hymn or love song, it's this chord. A dissonant collision that ripped through the Dresden Opera House in 1909 and told the world, welcome to the Real Housewives of Mycenae. Strauss's other scandalous opera, Salome, has moments of shimmering seductive beauty and deeply hummable melodies. But in Elektra, Strauss holds all beauty in reserve, deploying it with surgical cruelty, only to make the horror more potent. This is a 100-minute panic attack set to music. A toxic family so broken, they make the Sopranos look like the Brady Bunch.
The Brady Bunch.
We aren't here today to recount the plot. Many of you already know the story. You asked for this video after all, but if you don't, here goes. Dad kills daughter.
Please don't kill me.
Mom kills dad.
With an axe? Well done!
Other daughter waits in the mud for brother to come home and kill mom. Tale as old as time. Instead, we're doing something different. We're gonna look at Elektra through the lens of high camp horror. Strauss and his brilliant librettist von Hofmannsthal created an opera that feels like a John Waters movie, full of filth, screaming matches, and emotional excess. We're gonna look at this opera as a vibe. Specifically, the vibe of being trapped in a basement with a gas leak. So grab your wine, put on your best tattered robe, and prepare for the family reunion from hell. This is Elektra. So where does this nightmare begin? With the help. Strauss throws us into the servants' quarters, 5 maids scrubbing the floor, and they're absolutely trashing Elektra. But listen to how they're doing it. The music here is jagged, rhythmic, and frantic. The rhythms are angular and messy, which perfectly captures the anxiety of a household walking on eggshells. One maid screams, "She spat at us!" This is our first taste of the high camp filth. They describe Elektra not as a princess, but as a feral animal. They say she eats from a food bowl with the dogs. So let's see, we're 5 minutes in and we already have spitting, filth, and dog bowls. We're in the mud, we're filthy, and the orchestra is right there in the muck with them. And then we meet Elektra herself, accompanied by her signature chord. Elektra is the invention of atmospheric horror, what I like to call ancient grunge. When we listen to Mozart, there's air in the music, space to breathe. In Elektra, Strauss sucks all the oxygen out of the room. He expanded the orchestra to over 100 players to make the sound dense, suffocating. Humid, a sonic gas leak. And this musical language, it became permanent pop culture DNA. The opera opens with this brutal statement, the Agamemnon motif. Now listen to this. That's from John Morris's score for Young Frankenstein.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
The exact same musical gesture that became the dramatic chipmunk meme. Could it be that Strauss inspired the dun dun dun, the dramatic sting? Let's fight about it in the comments. But the defining moment in this camp horror, the moment where the opera transcends tragedy and becomes a grotesque spectacle, is the entrance of the mother, Klytemnestra. If you're of a certain age, you'll certainly remember this Carol Burnett sketch, Went with the Wind. That's the exact energy Klytemnestra brings to this stage. She's the queen, and she's a wreck. She hasn't slept in years because of the guilt of murdering her husband, so what does she do? She covers herself in charms, talismans, and jewels. Here's Anna von Mildenberg from the original 1909 production. Literally draped in her own trauma, a walking chandelier of anxiety. Strauss writes music for her entrance that lurches and grunts like a coughing fit after a late night. With a pounding migraine. This scene is the reunion special confrontation we've all been waiting for. Klytemnestra comes to Elektra looking for a cure for her bad dreams, and Elektra, playing the role of the vengeful producer, toys with her. This scene is a masterclass in passive-aggressive torture. Elektra speaks in riddles, hinting that the cure is blood. Specifically, her blood. The music here is relentless. It captures that desperate living John Waters vibe just perfectly. It's grotesque, it's over the top, it's dark, and it's hilarious. We laugh because we've seen this character 1,000 times since. The hysterical diva. The aging movie star. The reunion special housewife.
That's my opinion!
Strauss just invented the template. Klytemnestra is dissolving into hysteria while Elektra stands there, smiling like a predator. This is camp because it takes human emotion and amplifies it until it becomes monstrous. But here's the cruelest thing that Strauss does. An hour in, right when you've accepted that this is just going to be screaming forever, he does this. He gives Elektra a moment of hope. This is the moment her long-lost brother, Orestes, finally returns. And the second she recognizes him, the entire sonic world changes. Suddenly, the gas leak is fixed. The ancient grunge evaporates. For a moment, the orchestra doesn't attack her, it hugs her. Strauss floods the theater with this tidal wave of warmth to show us the human being buried within the vengeance machine. He lowers our defenses and makes us feel safe. And he does it for one reason, so the violence hits harder when the nightmare resumes. For nearly 2 hours, Strauss refuses to let the music resolve. He just builds tension on top of tension. When the murders finally happen, Strauss doesn't show them. We only hear them. We hear the screams from inside the palace. And when it's all over, what does Elektra do? She dances herself to death. Her entire identity as goth daughter revenge machine is over. Roll credits on the most dysfunctional family reunion in history. So if you enjoyed this trip into the Real Housewives of Mycenae, check out the rest of our 1905 to 1914 scandal series. So I have to ask, what's a piece of art, be it a movie, a show, a play, or a piece of music, that you find almost physically difficult to experience, but you still consider an absolute masterpiece? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe, damn it! Thanks for watching.